In 1979, a group of 19 Hells Angels is hired to appear in the film Dead Ringer. But for one biker, this is no ordinary job. It is an eye-opener to an inner passion, and the call is too loud to ignore. It ignites a fire, and the fire lights up his path to the pinnacle of Hollywood. He doesn't just dominate the film and television realm. He is also a respected figure in Hells Angels history. His name? Chuck Zito. He is featured in hits like Homefront, Carlito's Way, and The Rock. But his journey to Hollywood's glitzy hills is anything but typical. It's a tale of grit, guts, and an unexpected twist of fate that could rival any of the plots he's played on screen. A one-time president of the Hells Angels New York chapter, he's not only ridden on the wild side but has practically defined it. Chuck's story isn't just a bad boy turned good kind of narrative. He has seen it and done it all. From famously punching Jean-Claude Van Damme multiple times to the numerous headline-grabbing moments when he was arrested for drug trafficking. It is not every day that you find a man whose resume reads like a crime thriller and an action movie all rolled into one. So lean closer as we dive deeper into the roller coaster life of Chuck Zito, the Hells Angels president dominating Hollywood. This is one ride you don't want to miss. Before the storm. Born and raised in the bustling streets of New York, Chuck Zito decides to enter the world of sports. And while his peers play cops and robbers, he is busy learning the art of boxing and martial arts. The home classes are courtesy of his dad, a professional welterweight boxer. By the age of 17, Chuck is throwing heart-shaped eyes at his high school sweetheart, Kathy. Their young love leads them down the aisle at the tender age of 17. But will the marriage withstand the waves that are about to rock the boat? Only time will tell. Before diving headfirst into the biker life, Chuck had another passion tugging at his heartstrings: boxing. But it's one thing to learn how to throw a punch and another to step into the ring. So he has a big decision to make. Can he survive the grueling demands of the sport, or will he find himself counting stars? He is about to find out the hard way. Professional boxing. Chuck is no ordinary tough kid from New York. He is forced to grow up early after marrying as a teenager, and the gritty gyms of New Rochelle and White Plains become his refuge. He gets in the ring for his first Golden Gloves bout, and boy, does he make a splash. He knocks out some of the biggest names in the industry. Crowds are gasping, competitors are seeing stars, and he is on a roll. But it is not the beginning of a stellar career yet. He lacks discipline. He fails to maintain a proper exercise regime, and he treats boxing as a mere hobby rather than a career, hitting the gym only a few days before a fight. But luckily, his talent doesn't go unnoticed. He becomes a fixture at fights across the New York tri-state area. His charisma and skill inside the ring make him a crowd favorite, and the media is all over him. He even finds himself in the same room with other prolific boxers like Mike Tyson. And he befriends Arturo Gatti, accompanying him to the ring for major fights. But just as quickly as his star rises, his interest in professional boxing fizzles out. Perhaps getting punched in the face for a living isn't as fun as it sounds. And that's when he decides to take an uncertain path. A path that could jeopardize everything, including his marriage. Life as Hell's Angel. Chuck tries to follow in his father's footsteps, but being a boxer is not his strongest suit. He decides to pursue other interests, and his pursuit lands him on motorcycles. He starts his journey in the motorcycle world with a passionate dream. And to make it a reality, he creates the New Rochelle Motorcycle Club in 1974. It's a move that changes his fortunes for the better. Fast forward to 1976, and he merges the club with the Bronx-based Ching-A-Ling Nomads. Things get rowdier, and it's no longer all about bikes. It's about building connections. And his connection with Sandy Alexander, a Hells Angels member and pro boxer, bears fruit. And that's when he decides to take his bike life to the next level. He wants to join his New Rochelle MC with another prominent biker club. And the Hells Angels are the most attractive option, with Sandy Alexander as his way in. In 1979, he joins the Hells Angels after being a prospect for some time. The club doesn't take in anyone, but he charms his way into the hearts of its members and leadership, earning himself the nickname Charming Chuck. But there's a plot twist. To earn his stripes, he has to kill a target, or at least try. And he does. His target is a man accused of shooting and injuring a Hells Angels member. Chuck uses a remote-controlled device from a model airplane to detonate C4 explosives. The target escapes narrowly with severe injuries, and Chuck is lucky too. He dodges charges for the bombing. But this is just the first in a long line of events that would leave everyone close to him questioning his ethics. He continues to rise in influence and rank within the club, and run-ins with the police rise with his position. In no time, he becomes the Hells Angels vice president, and then a founding father and president of the Hells Angels New York Nomads, a position that puts him at loggerheads with the FBI. FBI on his heels. In May 1985, the FBI comes knocking. Over 100 Hells Angels members and associates are arrested in a series of raids across the country. Chuck evades arrest, but his luck soon runs out. A warrant is issued for his arrest. By this time, he has already established a bodyguard hiring service, and he is arrested in Tokyo, Japan, while performing his bodyguard duties. Tired of running, he pleads guilty to a drug charge. A 10-year sentence turns into 7 and then 6 years. And he serves in 19 different federal prisons. Interestingly, he maintains that he never did drugs. And in 1991, he walks out a free man. He keeps a low profile until he finds himself in the limelight again. Quitting the Hells Angels. In 2004, he decides to give himself more freedom, retiring from the club after 25 years, and he does so in good standing. It is a privilege only reserved for the most respected members. And what does he leave for? A passion he had discovered back in 1979, the same year he joined the Hells Angels. He has already started exploring it, but now he wants to do it full time. It's a major turning point in the story of his life. But will it pay off? Dominating Hollywood. To understand how he finds himself in Hollywood, let's rewind back time to 1979. Chuck's journey into Hollywood began in 1979, the year he joins the Hells Angels. Along with 18 other Hells Angels from the NYC chapter, he is hired to star in the film Dead Ringer. The film stars none other than Meatloaf and Cher. It is never released due to legal troubles. But being part of the cast leaves a lasting impact on Chuck. It lights a fire under him, and not even his hectic schedule as a fully fledged biker can extinguish it. With a little help from a leading actor and friend, Mickey Rourke, he kicks off his stuntman career in 1983. His first role is as Rourke's stunt double in Year of the Dragon. For a beginner, he does significantly well. But he has to get his priorities right. He has to choose between his newfound passion for film and being president of the Hells Angels. And it's a no-brainer. Film can always come second to his commitment to the club. He puts a halt on his aspirations as an actor, but only until he is arrested for drug trafficking in 1885. After pleading guilty, he serves a 6-year sentence. And in 1991, he emerges from prison and hits the ground running in Tinseltown. He makes his first appearance in the same year, portraying the bus attacker in Neon City. Seeing the fame that the role earns him, he doesn't look back. Fast forward, and his filmography is nothing short of epic. From action-packed classics like Die Hard with a Vengeance and The Rock, to thrillers like The Juror and Heaven's Prisoners, he's rocking the world. And he makes his mark, not just in film but in television shows too. In 1996, he steps into the gritty world of HBO's Oz as mobster Chucky Pancamo, becoming a fan favorite for all 6 seasons. But that's not enough. He makes a pit stop in the wrestling ring, appearing on WCW Monday Nitro alongside Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And when he retires in 2004, he's ready to dominate Hollywood. So he lands on the big screen once more in 2005's Carlito's Way: Rise to Power, and later in the drama television series The Young and the Restless. Besides film, he takes the airwaves by storm on the radio, keeping things spicy by hosting Chuck Zito's Italian Bad Boy Hour on WVOX. And if he thought that controversy only lives in the world of motorcycle gangs, he is wrong. In 2010, Chuck throws down the gauntlet with a $5 million lawsuit against FX. He claims that they swiped his idea for an outlaw motorcycle group after a development meeting in 2006. But the courtroom battle doesn't go his way. Regardless, his high-profile journey to becoming an acclaimed actor in Hollywood is no walk in the park. But it's not just through acting that he leaves an indelible mark. He has the mind of a businessman. He takes every business opportunity as it comes. And he sees one in the entertainment industry. Bodyguard in Hollywood, 1979, is a special year for Chuck. It is the year he officially joins the Hells Angels and discovers his passion for acting. But that's not all. It's also the year that he opens his own company, Charlie's Angels Bodyguard Service. He is fresh from guarding actor Robert Conrad at a motorcycle convention, and he discovers that it could be a lucrative business. His work as a bodyguard kicks off with a bang. He is hired to protect actress Lorna Luft. She recommends him to her half-sister Liza Minnelli and her entourage. And it's smooth sailing onward. He isn't just any bodyguard, he is Chuck Zito. A former renowned boxer and martial artist, word spreads fast across Hollywood, and soon enough he is rubbing shoulders with the industry's A-listers. His client list is not ordinary. He's got the likes of Muhammad Ali, Michael Jackson, Sean Penn, Eric Roberts, Charlie Sheen, and Sylvester Stallone on speed dial. And so do they. Luckily, Chuck's brother-in-law is a policeman. He rounds up off-duty cops to help Chuck with bodyguard duties during star-studded events like award shows. When he's not with the Hells Angels, safeguarding Hollywood's finest becomes his devotion. But it's not all glitz and glamour. Like every other life he has lived, this one comes with a fair share of drama. Hollywood drama. First, he allegedly knocks gossip columnist A.J. Benza out cold at Score's strip club in Manhattan for spreading a false rumor about him in the Daily News. And then there's the legendary showdown with Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels. They have a history, but things get pretty heated at Score's in February 1998. He unleashes a flurry of punches on Van Damme. And what for? Van Damme tells a bouncer that Chuck has no heart. The bouncer tells Chuck about it. And Chuck doesn't play when it comes to his reputation. The brawl with Van Damme is like a marketing stunt. He even jokes about it, saying that if he had known the fight would have gotten him so much positive publicity, he would have knocked Van Damme out 10 years earlier. Chuck's life is like a roller coaster ride of fame, fortune, and fists. From the streets of New York to the star-laden corridors of Hollywood, he has made a name for himself. And with every role, he continues to weave his intricate tale into the books of history.